Okay, so today we want to take a look at how you will be accessing Canvas for your 7th grade science classes. And what we want to do first is, just looking at your computer screen, you want to get into myKatie Cloud. Okay, so over here I've got myKatie Cloud. I'm going to click on that. Okay, it's going to come up for me. It's going to ask me to log in. Now the ID there, or the web address that you need is mykatie.katieisd.org. Okay, so that's where you're going to go so that you can log in. So my screen is already set for me to log in. And it logs in for me. The cloud gets itself ready. Now I have Canvas as a tile on my cloud already. So if you do not have Canvas on there, you want to go up here to the search button. You're going to go in there. We're going to cancel that. We're going to go search. I'm going to type in Canvas. Okay, and Canvas comes up here. So there's your tile. Okay, and when you click on that, it takes you into Canvas yourself. Right now we're just waiting. Okay, it's going to ask you to log in with your Katie ISD ID and your password. Okay, so that is your ID number, so your first initial of your last name and then whatever your password is. Okay, log in. And you're set. Okay, so when you get into Canvas and your dashboard, your classes should show up as these tiles here. If you look at your, when you get into your dashboard, you don't see those tiles, you need to make sure. It's probably because this button up here, or these tiles here, these 9 little boxes, need to be blue. Okay, otherwise it's going to list things for you. So you need to make sure that that toggle switch is over to the left, and those are all in blue. And then your course tiles should show up for each of your classes. Okay, so maybe these aren't showing up for you and you're wondering where they are. So what you need to do then is go over here to where it says Courses, right underneath where it says Dashboard. You go to Courses, you click on that, and you're going to see a list here. It says All Courses. Okay, you want to make sure that you go ahead and click on All Courses. And when you do that, there's going to be several, for me there's several courses in here. What I did is I starred the ones, you'll see here with these gold stars. These gold stars are the courses that I want to show up in my dashboard. So I clicked on the gold star and then they will show up when I go back to dashboard. Okay, so after you've starred your classes that you need to use for Canvas, okay, here I am. This is my dashboard. Okay, I have 4 classes in here, 4 tiles in here. I'm going to go to the one that I've created for this year, and it says WCJ 7th Science ACCA Wickline. So your teacher will have their name on their course. So when I click on that, this is a kind of a generic home page that we're all using here at Wood Creek this year. Okay, so it has assignments, discussions, syllabus, modules, textbooks, and a button for myKatie Cloud. We're going to start with modules here. Modules is where we end up putting most of our information for your 7th grade science classes. So we have modules set up for each individual unit. Okay, we have 11 units throughout the year, starting with cells. Okay, so we're getting ready to start cells here the next couple of days. We will put all of our information for this unit, we will add in here. It could be homework, it could be notes, it could be keys to homework. Okay, several different things. This is really where we communicate with you, is in modules. Okay, so that's one tile that could be used. Okay, another one is our course syllabus. Now for me, it's already been put in here. It's going to take it a while. Okay, so each of your teachers will have a syllabus that just gives information about them and the course. So for example, I think we're all pretty much using the same thing. So has some information on Canvas, ISNs, supplies, absences and makeup work, grading policy, retesting, gives a tutorial schedule. Okay, so there's a lot of good basic information that will be how to contact the teacher. There's a lot of good information that is right there in the course syllabus, so make sure you check that out for your teacher. Okay, going back to the buttons, we also do a lot in discussions. Okay, so right now we don't have anything in our discussions, but when we assign a discussion, we will tell you that you need to go in and perhaps reply to a question and reply to another student. Okay, that will show up here in your discussion. So that's the button you want to use to get into discussions. Okay, I'm going to go back. Textbooks we do not have loaded up yet. We're still working on that, but that's not available for you to see right now. Okay, one other thing that we like to use are quizzes through Canvas. And I need to go back, one second here, I need to go back into go back to my dashboard. Okay, I'm just going to show you how to access these and what it's going to look like for you. So when I go down here to this course for me, you also can access these things through this list over here. It doesn't just have to be the buttons from the home page. So you see assignments is there, discussions is there, syllabus, all the modules is there. So the things that were buttons are also appearing on this list. And you can go into quizzes, and we will assign you quizzes from time to time in Canvas, and they will show up here. Okay, so all you need to do is just click on that, and it takes you right to the quiz questions, and then you answer the questions and submit. Another important feature that we use to communicate with you is announcements. Now you'll notice down here that there is no button for announcements, okay, but it is over here on your list. Okay, now in mine it's gray, but it still works when I move the cursor over it. So it's at the very top. Okay, so I'm going to click on announcements, and I don't have any announcements in here now, the beginning of the school year. But this is where we will communicate with you, maybe that we've posted something new, or we've posted a review, or a certain key. Just anytime we need to communicate something important with you, it will show up in announcements. Okay, now it's important for you to be able to receive those announcements, and there's a setting you can use where you can set this to notify you right away when there's an announcement in a certain course. Okay, and that's an important one to use, because last year I know I had students who didn't realize that I was putting things in announcements, and we discovered this in April and May, that they weren't receiving very important things, and it's because they didn't have their settings right. So you go up here to Account. Okay, so I go up here to Account and Notifications. Okay, it's right there in the middle. Notifications. We're going to click on Notifications, and you'll notice this big list comes up over here. Okay, so course activities. Okay, really the most important one here is announcement. Okay, so it's the fifth one down. You have a bunch of buttons over here. Okay, so the check mark means notify me right away. The clock means daily summary. The calendar means weekly summary. And the X means do not send me anything. Okay, so for the other ones you can kind of play around with those. But what I would strongly suggest to you is that you make sure that the announcement, you are clicking on the check mark there. Okay, you want to make that gray, and then anytime there's an announcement from your teacher that's put into Canvas, it's going to be sent to you and notify you right away. Okay, and that's a pretty important feature, so make sure you take advantage of that. Okay, so we've set it up now for you to receive announcements. Okay, so it tells you to notify you immediately. Now, there are different ways that you can receive those announcements. So you need to go back and go into Settings here. So I click on Settings, and it gives me different options to be contacted. So when that announcement goes out, it can either go through email. If you want to add an email address, say you don't really use your Katy ISD email and you've got like a Gmail address and you want to add that in there, you can just click on add email address, and then this comes up and you just type in your email address and register email and you're good to go. Okay, if you want to receive it by text, okay, I had students last year that would get a text anytime an announcement went out. So you go over here to add contact method, okay, and you can put your phone number in there and you can register that. So that's just another way for you to receive the announcements. Okay, so once you put your number in here, you can choose who your carrier is and then make sure that you register that, and then you should receive any announcements that are sent out by your teacher. So I'm just going to close that out. Another important feature that you'll want to make sure you're checking frequently is the calendar option over here. Okay, so when you go into calendar, this is just some of the things that were in my calendar from last week that were put in. But what will happen is that you will have a view of the things for your courses. Okay, so your courses will be listed in different colors. So maybe on, let's just take a look, August 31st, you know, we're doing a cell station lab. So when I get to this the next couple days on the calendar for you guys, you'll see what we're going to be doing that day. It'll say cell station lab. If we're going to do a quiz, it'll show up that we're going to have a quiz that day, or that a unit page is due. If some homework has been assigned and it's due, it will be on the calendar on that day that it's due. So make sure you're checking that. That's an easy way for you to check. And also you can go and when you're in here and you're looking at the different calendar events, your different classes, so science will, whatever color tile you make, that will be your science, and you can have all of your classes, English, math, art, whatever, they'll all be listed in there by a different color. Just make sure when you're making your tiles that you make them different colors. Okay, and so I mentioned to you that you need to make your different classes different colors. So the way to do that is to go back into dashboard. Okay, it will give your class a color. It'll just randomly give a class a color. You can change that. A couple different things that you can change. Okay, you can, if you don't want to deal with 7th Science, ACA, whatever, you can delete that. Oops. Okay, so we're going to delete that. I'm just going to rename it Science. Okay, and I'm going to make it this color here. Okay, so that's how you go in and change it. Now I don't actually want it named that for myself, so I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to change it again to what I'm supposed to have it. Now you can go ahead and just call it something easier for you to remember. Oops. And I'm going to go back and make it this gross orange right here. Okay, so that's pretty much what you need to know to kind of be familiar with Canvas for what we're doing in science. And of course, if you ever have any questions, please let us know and let us get you going in the right direction, because Canvas is a very useful tool for what we're doing, and we heavily use it. Okay, so with 7th grade science, you have to be able to navigate your way through Canvas in order to access the stuff for the course and to be successful this year.